Hello everybody, hope everybody's going great today. I appreciate those who watch this video. I hope you enjoy it. And appreciate those who have subscribed. Thank you very much. So first off, the movie behind me going on is definitely not Death Warrant. It is Lionheart. I waited too long to do this review, and Amazon Prime took Death Warrant off. And I wasn't going to rent it just so I could do a review. So apologize for that. So you do get a scene because I was able to record that one. I do that one as I'm watching the movie, so you're able to see a little bit of a taste of Death Warrant. Unfortunately, the scene I picked isn't the best scene for the movie, but it is what it is. I kind of do feel like Death Warrant is. It's a great Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. Late 80s Jean-Claude Van Damme movies are the best. You know, you do got the mid-90s like Sudden Death and Time Cop and Hard to Kill. Those are great Van Damme movies too. But I got a little place in my heart for the late 80s movies. I believe those are his best. And have you ever tell on this channel, Van Damme is one of my favorite actors. I love his movies. So let's get into Death Warrant here. And I do, like I said, I do feel like this was kind of like... this is a really good Van Damme movie. I haven't seen this since it came out. So it's been forever since I've seen this movie. And I forgot how good it is. This is a really good Van Damme movie. It's probably one of his best movies from this time period, actually. It's very great. Very serious movie. The acting is pretty good in this movie. You know, one thing I always say about Van Damme movies is that, you know, you don't watch them for the acting. This one, everybody holds up pretty good. I mean, Van Damme he's a decent actor. He's pretty good. Always want to know with Van Damme, though, maybe somebody can answer my question. The dude has a knot on his forehead. I don't know how he got that knot. I wish I could, you know, watch all these interviews with him. Nobody asking him. I guess they're scared to ask him where he got that knot on his head. But somebody must have clocked him pretty good. Maybe that's why he learned karate. But I always want to know about that. But Van Damme can hold his own acting. He's never like the worst actor of his own movies. In this movie, very good acting. So if you don't know what Death Warrant is about, Van Damme is a cop. And they sent him to prison because there's some murders going on in the prison. And they want him to investigate it. Why these people are getting murdered and who's doing it. So he has to pretend to be a prison guard and, you know, or an inmate, not a prison guard, an inmate. And what could go wrong, right? What could go wrong with a cop, you know, pretending to be an inmate? Is he going to ever get out alive? You know, eventually, you know, it's kind of like you got a lot of tropes there. Eventually people are going to know that he's a cop and, you know, his cover's going to get blown. But overall, it's pretty good. It kind of, I don't know, I've never been in prison, but I don't really know what it's like. If somebody watches this video and been in prison, how accurate do they portray this prison? To me, it feels like everything's pretty exaggerated. At least I hope it's exaggerated what's going on in this prison. But I do believe you got, you know, some things are accurate. You do got your cliques. You got, you know, you get your black people hanging out with each other, white people hanging out with each other. They don't really intermix, not really much interactions between the two races. They are, you know, they do interact. It's usually in a violent manner. You do got your little clique leaders, you know, your leaders from each group that's in this prison. And, you know, Van Damme's trying to navigate his way through both sides to get information on what could be going on in this movie. And I feel like that part was pretty well done, pretty well written. Of course, you got your cliche that, you know, normally when this has happened, it's going to be somebody from the outside. A lot of spoilers in this one. The movie is very old, so if you haven't seen this, we're going to spoil a lot for you. You're probably watching this so to be spoiled to see if you actually want to dig into this movie or not. But eventually comes to find out that there's somebody from the outside, and actually the people who put him in prison are the ones who are actually going to murder people, or doing the killing in there. And it's all because they want to harvest the organs of these prisoners. A lot of people, so the prisoners who get killed are clean ones. They don't do drugs or anything like that, so they have good organs. And at first, I guess it's a noble cause, I guess. You know, murdering somebody, if you call that a noble cause. But the guy, the politician, wants these people killed so he can get do an organ transplant for his wife. I believe it's a liver transplant, if I remember right, so that she can live. And credit to the wife who was not in on this whatsoever, and she was kind of upset that her husband was doing this dirty deed, this despicable deed for her. So credit for her for this, for her character, which is, I don't know if you say unusual for these type of movies, but it was a little bit of a twist, a little bit different. This movie, like all Van Damme movies, has very good fighting scenes. You know, you get to, you know, every movie, Van Damme movie, you get the roundhouse kick. It's in this movie. And all the fights are very well choreographed. I love the ending though, because I guess it's kind of realistic with when he's fighting the main villain. And the main villain of the movie is kind of reminds me of, if you've seen Last Action Hero, it kind of reminds me of one of the villains from that movie that Schwarzenegger fights. I don't know, just kind of reminds me of that guy for some reason. In this movie, the main villain is the Sandman, who can really fight. For some reason, you can't kill this dude with bullets, so you have to set him on fire and a furnace, which was his undoing. But what I was going to say is, I love in this movie where at the beginning, Van Damme does his little flexing muscle. You know, he goes, ah, and he's flexing his muscles. You know, looks real strong. And then the villain co-cocks him with a monkey wrench. Don't know how he survives. It's movie magic, right? Van Damme gets up from getting clocked with a monkey wrench by this guy. And then later on in the fight, the villain flexes his muscles. And that's when Van Damme, I think, kicks him in the furnace right after the villain flexes his muscles. Which I kind of found out funny because, you know, how many times you've seen in these movies where people are like raging and they like show off their muscles and flex and stuff, and then they go beat somebody up. This movie is like, never flex your, this movie's moral of the story is never flex your muscles in the middle of a fight, or else you'll get clocked by a monkey wrench or kicked into a furnace. Hey, which is great. It's great. You know, you don't want to be flexing in the middle of a fight, right? Especially when it's life and death. So I kind of like that part. Like I said, great action scenes, great Van Damme movie. If you're a Van Damme fan, you have to watch this movie. Unfortunately, they took it off Amazon Prime. No idea where you can find it. You probably can rent it from there. If you can rent it off Amazon Prime, do it. It's worth the $3.99. Hopefully that's what they're charging. It's a good show, good movie. Enjoyed it. I think I actually might own it on DVD. I got to dig through my DVDs to find it, because I did buy a 3-movie Van Damme movie pack a long time ago. But yeah, really liked it. Glad I revisited it because I really forgot what it was about. Went into it kind of blind and come out enjoying it. So hopefully, if you guys seen Death Warrant, did you like it? What do you think? Where would you rank Death Warrant in Van Damme's movie library? I'm going to rank it pretty high. I think it's a really good movie. A lot better than what I thought it would be. Have a great day, and hopefully you'll see me on another video. Bye.